So we're out here on the range. I've got the Challenger big bore 45 cal filled all the way up to 3600 psi. I've got the Texan filled all the way up to 3000 psi with the TX2 valve there. Sadly, the scope rings I had for my nicer scope didn't allow me enough height there to put the scope on. It was banging into the top edge of the rail there. So the only scope I have for it right now is this Armalite night vision rifle scope. So all we're really going to be doing here is a velocity test, foot-pounds of energy test between the two rifles. What we're going to be using for ammo today are these homemade 220 grain leads. These are the Lee 456 220 grain mold. It does a really good job. These are going to fit inside of the clip for the AEA Challenger. Now we can hand feed some much larger bullets, but this will be what we can cycle today through that, and we'll test that both in the Challenger and in the AirForce Texan. So what I'm going to do here is set up the camera. We've got the chronograph. That's a Pro chronograph from Competition Electronics. Alright guys, so I figured we'd do this test again with the AirForce against the AEA Challenger. Hopefully I can get the camera to show that for you. Just to be fair to AEA, I've filled the rifle all the way full. I want to show you the gauge there. 3000 psi. Here we go. Let's go ahead and put a round in it. Take a shot down range and see what it does. Could help if I take the safety off. 929 feet per second. There you go. Let's go ahead and fire a second shot and see how well it does. 905 feet per second. So there's the AirForce Texan. That's a full fill with the TX2 valve. Let's go ahead and switch over to the AEA Challenger and see what kind of velocity difference we see with the AEA. Alright, let's go ahead and throw a magazine in this thing. Here we go, shot number one from the AEA Challenger. .944 feet per second. So I think that proves that the AEA Challenger is twice the bang for half the buck. It's a well-built rifle. It's very, very powerful. I'm not sure if it's coming through on the video, but the integrated silencer that's in this outer tube on this barrel is actually doing a really good job of quieting down the shot compared to the AirForce Texan. Even though this is coming out at a higher velocity, the Texan's definitely much louder. Here we go. Let's fire another round through this and see what kind of velocity we get. Oh, it actually went up a little bit. I was past the 3600 psi fill by a little bit, and sometimes it's got a bit of a curve there. So that's 968 feet per second. That's actually quite a bit faster than the AirForce Texan. Here we go, shot number three. .962 feet per second. Wow, that's just screaming. Here we go, shot number four. .935 feet per second. I think it just hit the same velocity as the Texan just now. .889 feet per second. And I'm pretty sure we got one more round. Let's go ahead and drop that out. .856 feet per second. So there you go, folks. Just give you a look at it here. We've got the Armalite sight up on top of it. A little difficult to use these night vision sights during the day, but they still work as long as you don't pull the end cap off. Alright guys, we're going to do one final test here. Let me go ahead and bring that Texan up to the screen so you can see that. Air pressure's all the way full. The chronograph is turned on. Hopefully you can see that. Let's go ahead and load one of these 220 grain leads into the rifle. Here we go. Shot number one. 924 feet per second. We'll do one more shot out of that. Drop that one. Here we go. Shot number two. .899 feet per second. So there was 2 shots from the AirForce Texan. Hopefully you can see the numbers there on the screen. Alright, so we got the Challenger ready to go. Let's go ahead and get the cock back and put the clip in. Alright, here we go. First shot from the Challenger. So there we go, 944 feet per second. Once again, the Challenger is proving that it is a more powerful rifle than the AirForce Texan. Let's fire another round out of that. Ooh, look at that, 978 feet per second. Hope you can see that. Let me go ahead and zoom in for you a little bit. Look at that, 978 feet per second. The Texan didn't get anywhere near that. Let's fire a third round out of this, since we're now over the power curve. So it looks like the rifle doesn't like to be filled all the way up to 3,600 PSI. It looks like it's about 3,300 PSI, where you're gonna get your highest velocity. Here we go. Oh, look at that, still 971 feet per second. That is smoking fast from a 220 grain slug at 45 cal. Let's go ahead and fire another round. We're going to dump this clip out and then we'll call it a day. 943 feet per second. I think that's the same velocity as our first shot. .898 feet per second. That was the velocity basically of the Texan on its second shot. Here we go. Next shot. And I think that's it, folks. I think we're empty. Well, there is a great example on how you definitely are going to get your bang for your buck with the AEA Challenger. You get a more powerful rifle than the AirForce Texan, and you get it for about half the price.